on the eastern coast of the Mauritania swamp. This, that once served as a beacon of light within the darkness, seems to have fallen into ruin, but now it seems uncovered and active, which might prove difficult for the current vampiric residences here. But, whichever the case, I took the invitation to come here, and I plan to investigate it fully, or at least as far as I can at my current level. This is the site known as Everlight. Let's start by having a chat with the person who sent me the letter. If you aren't here to tell me you've figured out how to turn this blasted light off, why are you here?
The monolith has given me information on the Icene structure known as Everlight, a lighthouse on Mauritania's east coast. More than just a lighthouse, though, it served as a beacon of hope for the Icene race newly migrated to Gillinor. But what could power such a beacon to shine so brightly day and night across the surrounding hallowed lands? And what opposing force of darkness could have snuffed out the Everlight and sunk it beneath the waves?
That is indeed a mystery. Well then, I guess we get right to it. Up. Skip boo, skip boo. Alright. Just discovered this. I'll put it into my journal and I'll read it later once I get the first page. Just discovered these, and it was suggested that I take them to Venescula to examine them. So I'll do just that. Okay, so I found some Icene remains in one of the mass graves. What are you telling me for? I wasn't there when this place fell. The sacking of Everlight was my brother's doing. I wasn't trying to guilt you or anything, I was just wondering what I could do with them. Oh, right. Well, in the spirit of peace, I imagine if Ferte would want them reburied with some reverence. I've researched Icene burial rites at some point. In fact, there is an Icene graveyard on the coast just south of here. They used to be buried with these flat, circular ceremonial artifacts. They look like frying pans to me. Oh, well that explains it. So, maybe I should take these remains, find one of these so-called frying pans, and then rebury them together in the Icene graveyard south of here. I mean, if you like. See, this is one of the better points of archaeology, I imagine. We find wrongs of the past that we can correct in the future, I suppose. Although, further thought has me believing that some things might need to stay buried. I don't know, just spitballing here. Alright, let's see if I can't get myself a frying pan. Yeah. Look at that, I found something. This might be the Queen of the Icings. It was with sorrow in my heart that I left my home on Hallow, but I am duty-bound as Queen to lead them in our Lord Saradomin's new campaign. In New Domina, we lived forever beneath the sun's light, our floating capital moving with the sun, which lazily arced through our skies. The night on our home was incredibly dangerous, and few that found themselves within it survived the experience. Arriving on this so-called paradise was more than a shock. Saradomin arranged all arrivals to be within daylight, but the sun moves so much faster here, and despite being warned of this fact, and reassured that the night on this world is not inherently dangerous, every new Icene arrival has had the same fearful reaction. My kind are so acclimated to conditions on Hallow, we as a race are fundamentally afraid of the dark. This is something we will have to adapt to if we are to become an effective force for good here. As such, I have ordered construction of a tower on a small peninsula near where our city is being built. Lord Saradomin has promised to place within it a mote of his power to act as a permanent beacon, both a lighthouse for new arrivals to aim for, and a comfort to ease us into this planet's incessant day-night cycle. It is somewhat styled after the main tower on New Domina, and it shall be named Everlight, for it will stand for all time to cast its and our light within the darkest recess of this world. Queen of Ferrite. Huh. Well now, that gets me furnished with a theory. Back during the so-called God Wars, all of the demigods were removed from this world at the end of it, Saradomin being one of them. So if this lighthouse is powered by him, then it's possible when he left it lost its power. But the question to that theory is, why did it take so long for it to activate? I wonder if the next page has anything on this. With construction of Everlight completed, and more Icene arriving each day, work on our homes here. With construction of Everlight completed, and more Icene arriving each day, work on our homes here has begun in earnest, along with a castle to serve as my seat. It shall sit nearest to our new beacon. My people have named this land Hallowvale, both in honor of me and testament to our home. From this foothold, we are expanding northwards, with the hope of securing all land east of the river and creating chokeholds at every point of crossing. This will then provide my people with a bastion of safety from which to strike out against our Lord Saradomin's enemies, and a place to return to after each foray into the lands beyond. Yet I must make this place more than just one of safety. It must feel more like a home. To that end, I have instigated a number of projects that should help our people settle here more easily. First, I've set in motion plans to hold regular games, much like those back on Hallow. They will be both a source of pride for our people and something to look forward to. In time, we can invite our other allied and friendly races to join in with us. Sounds familiar. Second, as morbid as it might seem, construction will soon begin on a graveyard south of our city here. Previous extraplanetary campaigns have taught us the cost of war, and though they are necessary, having a way to honor our fallen and remember them, to bring them home to their families, provides us with the strength to fight on. Finally, beyond our own needs, we will soon construct a number of settlements for our new human allies. It is important that we make them not feel alienated by our culture and show them that we and they can live side by side within the light of our Lord. Queen of Ferrite. Well, it'll look back into the past. But yeah, This used to be Icene lands, but then something happened, and now the vampires and werewolves roam these lands. I imagine it was more beautiful than it is now. Got this first. I might save that for later. Huh. Oh, interesting. I was in Catherby at one point, and there was a candle salesman, and I saw a bunch of people gathered to there. I was wondering what that was about. So they must have been getting stuff for this. Oh, that's one mystery solved. Despite our presence on this world being a campaign of war, it has brought me the greatest joy I have ever felt in my life, both a husband and a son. I am filled with love for them. Back on Hallow, the expectation would have been for me to wed Archon Babel, a marriage of convenience. He is an odious man whom I must tolerate, for he holds great sway over our military forces here, and they are needed to protect my beloved citizens. Yet Lord Saradomin and I spoke on this matter, this tradition, and he encouraged its breaking when I told him of Acertes. The humans are our allies too, a power in their own right, and an alliance worth cementing as much as any from our homeworld. Of course, Lord Saradomin's blessing was given in knowledge that it was practical, but he could see how much we were in love and celebrated in our joy just as much as in our duty being fulfilled. Our Lord soon heads to the west with a newly formed force of human followers, supported by lions, unicorns, centaurs, and even Icene, though many of my kind shall remain behind at Everlight to stand guard. He sets out on a long campaign to raise the imperial capital of Sentistan once and for all. Sentistan, the Zeros capital. Though first he must carve a path to it. Long has it been a blot on the land under the rule of the empty lord, but now the usurper sits upon its throne, almost as if nothing has changed in the intervening centuries. Ah, Zamorak, the usurper. May the Everlight cast across the river and smite our Lord's enemies. Queen of Ferrite. I am both looking forward to and a bit worried about what the fourth page might show me. I am left with little choice but to acquiesce to Dracon's demands, for he holds my husband captive. Dracon, leader of the vampires, and Venescula's brother. He's long gone, though, fortunately. His Vyres somehow breached the castle in the night. We fell back to Everlight, but in the confusion, Acertes was kidnapped. Archon Babel did not hold at Everlight, however, and continued his retreat to the east with the bulk of our remaining military force, and only my loyal royal guard remains, along with the non-military citizens. I have instructed those who cannot fight to flee however they can. There is no point in them giving up their lives for the Archon's cowardice. However, I must stay to ensure the survival of my husband, their king. Word of Lord Dracon's ruthless reputation has carried even this far, and I dare not risk his fury being meted out on my loved ones. I have entrusted my child with two of his carers, my hope being they can smuggle him out to safety, perhaps to one of the nearby human settlements. The farther away they can get, the better, though it is hardly any safer across the river. The The royal guards say they will not leave my side, and they know what that likely means. When the time comes, I have instructed a handful of them to sabotage access to the Everlight. I do not imagine Drakon would attempt to steal its power for himself. It's probable a creature such as he could not even benefit from it, but it is best to not take the risk. No. I fully expect he will attempt to snuff it out, but on failing to do so will simply destroy the tower or sink it beneath the waves. He and his Vyres despise the light it casts, and would not abide it for a second longer than they must. Darkness shall fall on Hallowvale this day, for Everlight is forsaken. Queen of Ferrite. So this gets to the point where, well, for those who have done the Vampire series quests, this would make a lot of sense. So much. It's a nice bit of backstory to have. I think that's all the pages of that. I guess all that'll be left is to find that quote-unquote frying pan and bury these remains. So let's get back to it. Come on, ceremonial plate. Excellent. Now that I have a good look at it, I don't really see it as a frying pan. Well, let's see if I can't get some clay, or marble. That's what I'm missing. Okay. There's that done. And that's quite a boost in experience. I was hoping there would be a scale up. Now then, let's have a look at this graveyard to the south. Actually, named or used for is not something we've been unable to discover so far beyond the use in funerary practices. Nestula came up with the term frying pan. Yep. Where does one go? Wonder if this is it. No, what's this? Well, that's interesting. I'm a bit confused by that. Okay, I feel sheepish now. I just remembered over here is an Icene graveyard. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done the vampire quests, so, alright. Oh, and here we go. There's an empty grave all ready to go. Felt like a good deed done. That felt like a good deed done. I should inform Venescula back at Everlight Base Camp. And it's a hop, skip, and a jump. Oh, there we go. So I reburied some Icene remains in the graveyard south of here, along with one of those frying pan things. Did you want a medal or something? I mean, it did make me feel a bit more pious. Oh, fine. Oh, fine. I'll inform Ferrite of your pious deeds. Happy now? Huh. Right. Well, I think I'll get one more quote-unquote frying pan and then move on to the next site. Did you inform Ferrite of how I paid my respects? Yes, but you're still not getting a medal. Great job. We found everything, and I've made notes in the site report. Huh. Right. I guess that's that for that mystery, probably. Yep. So I'm just gonna keep seeing if there's any more sites I can look into here. Huh. Of course. I also need to be on the lookout for more research topics. I wonder if there's something over this way. Oh, doesn't look like I'm making any progress here. So I guess I might end it here. Although, there is a lot of interesting stuff. So there usually is. Yep, he's come back. So let's have a look. This area of Caradet was mostly used as a training ground, as well as housing for legionaries, though some buildings appear to have been reserved for imperial officers. Excellent. Alright. Oh. Let's see. Maybe... Let's see if I can't have someone come over to this one. Oh. I need to get my chronotes. But yeah, I'll definitely have a look in that if I can. Double checking. I can. There they are. Oh. Do that. Put that in. There. Many mounds of earth sit upon Everlight's central island. Let's have a look. Alright. Well, with that, I think I'll head back to an earlier dig site, and this is Controlled Chaos signing out on Everlight for now.